tell, this is going to be a really important video for some of you because I've been stopped from doing it 3 times now. 3 times. 3 times. It's insane. Like, my window is closed and I suddenly had a bee over here, just like 10 centimeters away from me. I have some flowers, but yeah. So, to get to the point of this video, hi, my name is Daya, and we're going to talk about the spiritual aspects of narcissism, borderline, and everything that has been set as a diagnosis for people who lack empathy. People who don't have the ability to be compassionate for another human beings when they are in distress. Yep. Let's go into it. So, have you ever asked yourself why narcissists have such... And I'm gonna use the term narcissists from now on because that's the jargon we use on YouTube, but have that in mind, what I just said. Have you ever wondered why they are so tough with vulnerability? Like, they have such a problem with being open and vulnerable in front of you. Yeah, one of the reasons I had to stop this video is because suddenly, out of nowhere, my mouth was so dry I couldn't even speak. It's insane. So, it's a proof of what I'm about to say. Okay, so, spiritual side of abuse. I can make the comment that it's about every abuse, because if you have compassion and empathy towards another human being, you won't be able to abuse them. But that's for a whole other video. Why do narcissists lack the ability to be vulnerable? Well, because they conceive and perceive themselves to be like everybody else, or rather, they are not capable of imagining a reality where other people are being genuine, and so anything and everything that they share with the other person, they are thinking that is going to be used against them, because that's what they do. Alright, so let's say you had a childhood trauma and you shared that with them. That is going to be used against you later. This is stored information. Alright, we're good up to here. Now, let's dive into the spiritual side of it. Some people on YouTube have already made the connection between the Jezebel spirit and narcissism over 3 years ago. I've been diving into this deeply, and just by the way, the story of Jezebel and Ahab, by the way, her name is Izebel, not Jezebel. That's just like an English transformation for some reason. Why do we even change names? I don't know. But her name is Izebel. And it's really funny because in Hebrew, Zevel means trash, and E means her or she. So basically her name is She Trash. She's trash. So the She Trash spirit, because I don't want to use its name, I don't want to give it any power, it goes into people and behaves like the empathy lacking person, right? We've made that connection on YouTube. But who is sending that spirit? That spirit definitely does not belong to God. It's not a godly spirit. It's not the Holy Spirit. It's from the other side. So the other side, the antagonist, the person who is opposing God, he's not omnipotent. He cannot be anywhere at any time. He cannot be in our hearts and in our thoughts. So, in order for him to gain any type of information about us, about where we stand, about what we think, about our plans, etc., he has to send people our way. And if your life is clean to the point where you have gotten rid of all sins in your life, and the only way that he can reach you is through people, he's gonna do that. And suddenly you might see like 3 different letters or texts from 3 different exes in 1 week. That can happen. He does that. He uses people. So Satan uses people to get his targeted people information from them, to get them in the corner where he needs them, to just, seek, kill, and destroy. That's what he does. So, who is actually in those people who are being possessed? Because demonic possession is real, and I've seen it with my own eyes and spirit. And when you see a person being psychotic, I believe that that's not really the same person. I mean, they're somewhere in there. Their memories are still in there. The information that they know is still in there, but there's something more in there with them. And so when a person is being psychotic, I think it's, any spirit sent by the devil is inside them, and any demonic spirit is inside them. And what I'm really thinking is, how we've been speaking about the hive mind, right? So the moment you sell your soul to the devil, you become just a vessel. Well, we are always just a vessel. It's either we have the Satan spirits inside us, or we have the Holy Spirit inside us, and the Most High is leading us. But the moment you sell your soul to the devil, everything you know, every information that you have collected throughout your whole life, immediately think of it as a computer. Like, he suddenly has access to all of your drives, and he can use them against you and against all of the surrounding people around you. So I want to make the statement that basically this is how he, the evil one, knows how to love bomb us, because you might have had a long history of toxic relationships, and you're a person who learns from their mistakes. You're improving all the time, but every new relationship that you get in, it's like a different from the previous one. It's got the bad sides fixed, but then after some time you discover that it's got like new holes in it. And so it's like you're going levels in like a game, you're leveling up, and every new narcissist is more covert than the previous one. Your first narc might have been a completely overt narc, you learned from that mistake, you've leveled up. And so the question I've always asked myself is like, how the heck do they successfully fool me? How do they know how to love bomb me so well? And here goes a flashback of me witnessing a psychotic person who I believe was possessed in those moments, telling me things that his vessel or his body or his character, who he was supposed to be in this reality, in this realm, could not have known in any possible way. So the spirit inside of them was attacking me with information that this person couldn't have known. And this has happened to me more than once with more than one person. And so I just make the link between, the spirit that is inside them knows everything about us because it can access every single person it's been in. Just take a minute and think about this. The spirit that is inside your narcissistic mom, it knows everything you've done, everything you've said, everything you've shared with any other person who is not saved. Everything. And so it becomes extremely easy to love bomb you. Just think about it. They know everything about you. He knows everything about you. Satan knows everything about you that you've ever shared with another person who is not saved. Because unless this person is sealed, by God, everything inside of them is just up for grabs for Satan whenever one of his servant spirits is inside of them. And so to me, this becomes extremely hard. It's like we've leveled up so high that I'm up to a point, honestly, where I just prefer being alone than ever being in a relationship again, unless this person proves to me for I don't know how long that they're completely saved and safe and all that. And even then, I don't know. But yeah, that depends on God. Um, but just think about it. Everyone who is not saved around you is potentially, not only potentially, but practically being used against you if you are a targeted one, if you are really sent here or have been chosen by God in any way, shape, or form. You believe God, you have chosen good over evil, you are targeted. And me personally, I've been targeted since the day I was born. And it's never actually been able to break me to a point where I just choose evil over good. Never. Thank God for that. And I think this video is extremely important because it gives us some practical tips on how to survive this realm, at least for now. Yeah, our most sacred moments, fears, emotions are being used against us. And every new narc or every new person who comes into your life, they don't really know it in their rational mind, but whenever they get accessed by that spirit, they know exactly what to say to make you fall for them. They know exactly the things that you like, sometimes in every aspect of your life, because if they didn't, then you wouldn't be with them, right? Because you've experienced lesser things in your life and you wouldn't level down, so to speak, with every new relationship. I'd like to think, at least I'm like that. And unless there's some compatibility or perceived compatibility that looks genuine, and the person actually gains your trust in some way, I don't know if they know it subconsciously what to say. And we always say that narcs mirror you in the beginning, but I don't think it's so easy to mirror some people with such expressed details of their life that might be even attraction to things or situations where you haven't even shared with that many people, and suddenly they know. And they don't know because Satan can access your mind unless you've given him that, in which case that's really sad. But they know because you've shared that information at some point in your life with somebody somewhere. And it's really like there's like two opposing sides of this war, and whoever you are, you're either a vessel in the hands of Satan or you're a vessel in the hands of God. That's what it is. And if God is inside you, he can use you for good. And if Satan is inside you with his demons or whatever, he can use you for evil. And that goes with everything that you've ever learned, known, felt, thought of, everything. And so this is how your aunt from Germany can know things about you that happened in America, you know? It's just, it makes no sense. And sometimes even like you would have had a diary where you've written things and left it somewhere, and then some person on the other side of the country would know what's in that diary because someone else read it. It's almost supernatural. But what is really natural in this world? We gotta ask yourselves. We gotta ask ourselves, because if science is the filter that we look through, then a lot of the natural things are considered supernatural and almost spooky. And then we are left defenseless almost. But if we really think about this logically, and I have gone through being an atheist in my life. I had lost my faith, and when I discovered these things, I was still an atheist. So you can't really say that I'm a spiritual religious junkie that just speaks nonsense here, because this was my way back to God. And I discovered these things, the spiritual connection between abuse and the Izevil spirit, the she trash spirit, when I was still, well, before I was born again, so to speak. I really wanted to share this today. If you're targeted, please know that you're not alone. God is with you. Just search for him and you will find him, because there's a reason you've been targeted, you know? If God wasn't real, which he is, but if he wasn't, why would evil fight such a great fight to destroy his people? Or to destroy you if you're a good person. You might not be a believer, and you're a good person naturally, you've always been that way, and you are completely targeted throughout all your life. You gotta ask yourself why. Why does evil attack you? There is a reason for it. It's not just random. It's not just because you're the unluckiest person on earth. There's a lot of us out here. I've felt that way many days of my life, but I gotta tell you, there's a reason for it. There's a reason why he's attacking you so badly. And it's time for us to ask the questions and receive the answers if we're willing to. And I can tell you that there's so much more peace and strength in God than it is without Him. So I wanted to share that with you today. Don't get spooked if some person is telling you things they never were supposed to know. It's just the nature of the hive mind, and these people are just being used as vessels. That's it. All their hard drive, all their memories, all their information inside their heads. And Satan will try and get to everyone around you, and mostly he will succeed until he gets to you. But if you stay strong, you know, the bubble around you will start to grow, the bubble of protection, and you will find peace and safety. I promise you that in God. Yeah, so I hope you're being safe. I hope I find you in good faith and health. And if not, then I'm wishing you those things. I pray that God keeps all of His children safe completely and in peace, and shows us our personal paths to go through. I'm really thankful that I was able to do this video finally, after stopping for so many times. And I'm gonna wish you a beautiful day, afternoon, morning, evening, night, whenever this catches you. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.